Well,
Cow farts?
But supposedly some of those numbers are wrong.
Oh.
But supposedly the cows are the biggest problem facing Earth.
Why?
Way more than
Because of the farts.
Well, because they wouldn't exist if we didn't eat them. I mean,
right.
They don't have.
It's all the methane gas they release. It's all the farting. It's all the shit that they produce, and you know they just let that shit just
sit there.
Yeah, they don't.
That's
they don't process the shit like human shit.
I never thought about that.
And
They wouldn't exist.
And that's most of the reason why the rainforest is being chopped down, so we could raise more cattle, because we love fucking beef on this planet.
So basically, if it wasn't for us, nature, something else would be eating these.
Oh, they would be, yeah. They don't have any
defense
mechanism. They just, even when you go to shoot them, they just stand there. They'll watch one of the cows get shot, and then they'll just kind of be like, whoa. But they don't like run, like stampede away like you would think.
Right.
Like,
So there's no wild cows. Cows are only
I don't think
made
so.
to be killed or
Pretty
milked
sure.
or whatever. There's
Right.
not just a natural cow part of the world.
Right.
Where they, wow.
There's natural horses. I don't know if there's natural.
Yeah, I've seen
Natural,
wild
wild
horses.
horses.
Wild,
Yeah.
yeah.
I forget
I've
all
sung
my
about
numbers
them.
now, but the amount of water that we use to raise, cattle is taking up way more water than what humans are using.
Boy.
Way more
I
land.
never drink water for the environment.
I want to say for each hamburger, they figured out it's like 60 gallons of water for each hamburger you eat. I think that's the number.
God, that's
couldn't be
crazy.
right.
Because the cows, just the amount of water it takes to keep a cow going until you slaughter it.
You know the Big
And
Short.
the amount of grain it eats. They said if you took all the grain that we're using to feed the cattle, we could feed the world, no problem. But that would solve the hunger problem in the world.
Right. Well, we have enough food to solve the hunger problem. It's just how to get it to the right areas, right?
We just don't give a fuck.
In the
gave a
Big
fuck, we
Short,
would
that
take
guy
care of that.
you saw the Big Short,
awesome,
right?
yeah.
The guy who discovered all the, that it was that the economy was gonna tank.
Right.
He now just didn't it say in there that he just invested everything in water?
Really?
Yeah. So then it's like, well, that guy knows.
Yeah, we're running out of water. It's pretty obvious. We're running out of water.
A fucking huge problem ahead of
The
us.
cows are drinking most of it, according to Cowspiracy. So you were affected by some of that stuff.
But the killing of the chicken, there's also a weird thing with when you're killing a chicken that you have to get it right on the. You take the axe and you hit it, and you have to get it right on the neck. If you get it, you don't want to get it too much, otherwise you're gonna use up some chicken breast, which and then if you get it the other way, sometimes you just chop the head in half.
Right.
Did you ever do that?
Yes, that's what
Well, there was a
that's
chicken.
the whole part.
We did the story a couple months ago, but there was a chicken, and I think it was back in the 50s, that happened. They missed and chopped his head off, but the thing continued to live.
Right.
Wait,
for-
was
for
there
a
any head
while.
left or no?
I think if you really looked into it, there must have been just a part of the brain.
I remember
part of the brain. It was Mike the Headless Chicken. This thing was really famous from.
Oh, good. I'm sure he wasn't in constant pain with his fucking head gone for 18 months.
It was always dancing.
But this thing, this chicken traveled the world. That as part of one of those sideshows, everybody wanted to see the Headless Chicken.
How did he eat?
March 1947 at a motel in Phoenix on a stopover while traveling back from tour.
It died at a motel.
Yeah, Mike started choking in the
my
middle
God,
of the
just
night.
like a comedian.
But what's the story behind Mike, the Headless Chicken?
Wait,
again?
go back a little bit. They left their cleaning
Syringes.
syringes at the sideshow the day before, so were unable to save Mike. So they had left their feeding and cleaning syringes.
Right, yeah, because they had to feed it through the
And clean it.
Yeah, through the syringes and all that.
Oh,
But
why
this-
they just let it die? What is
Because this
awful-
thing made him a lot of money in the sideshow world.
Mike's a goose.
Despite Olson's failed attempt to behead Mike was still able to balance on a perch and walk clumsily. He attempted to preen, peck for food, and crow, though with limited success. His crowing consisted of a gurgling sound made in his throat.
Just in agony. The thing was suffering, and this fucking shitty family brought him all over the place.
Made a lot of money, paid a lot of bills. I think it lasted about 2 years without a head. The axe removed the bulk of the head, but missed the jugular vein, leaving one ear and most of the brain stem intact. There you go.
All right, so
$47,000 a month it made.
good listener.
Was it
Oh my God.
47,000 a month?
4,500 per month, but 47,000 today.
Oh, today.
Yeah.
There's your why, Jimmy.
Yeah.
There's your why.
That's true.
There's your why.
45 G's a month, I would keep a headless chicken
Oh
around
my God.
and tour with it.
I know. I'm starting to,
Yeah.
feel bad that I didn't.
That's
I'm
a
gonna fire-
lot
Monetize.
of money. He was put on display to the public for an admission cost of 25 cents. At the height of his popularity, the chicken earned, $4,500 per month, which is $47,700 today. A month. That's pretty impressive. The Earth will never run out of water. That just came in from Chad in Minnesota.
Yeah, Chad knows.
He knows.
Okay.
So what are you going to do to promote this? Besides, you got an event tonight with Gaffigan at 7 p.m. It's at the Strand Bookstore in New York, here at 12th and Broadway. So get there early so you get a seat so you're not stuck far away. And then tomorrow night she's appearing in conversation with Emily Tarver at the World Bookstore in Jersey City.
That's on
I'm sorry,
Thursday.
this Thursday. Sorry. This Thursday, 7:30 p.m. And of course, Bonnie is very funny live, so it would be a very entertaining chat.
Very entertaining. Very entertaining book. Can you tell the story? Can you tell the surgery story again?
That's not in the book.
Why didn't you put in the book?
Because my family was going to read it, and I just first of all, it is tricky because my family doesn't like me, as you know.
Yeah.
So I'm always trying to get them to
Pay attention to you.
Yes, be nice. And so I did send the book. I was still worried that they were going to find things wrong with it. I didn't put them in it a lot because I was scared there would be, they're very private people, so I can see them being like, well, fine, talk about yourself, but you don't have to talk about me in the book. And then after I'd written the book, I thought, oh, now they're going to get mad that they aren't in it enough. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, oh, you just leave us out. Okay,
Yeah.
I guess it's all about you.
Yes, you did it all yourself.
Yeah, so I felt like but then I sent the book home to see what they would say. I was scared of their reaction. And my mom, who didn't finish the book yet, but she called me and she said, Bonnie, I've read a lot of books. I said, yeah, I know you've read a lot of books. She goes, and this one is not the worst one.
Oh,
So
God.
I said,
We know why you're a comic.
that's so funny. It's so in
shit.
keeping with her. And I said, can I use that as a blurb? And she goes, oh, you know what I mean. But so far...
Why would she say it like that? That's an odd thing to say.
Because she has
like
a
that?
weird
It's
relationship
just
with
a-
her parents.
It's just...
They don't really follow her career that much.
I don't know. I mean, I think she really was trying to be nice.
Right.
That's
It's
her
not
way
the
of
I
being
do
nice.
feel like writing the book, I let go of a lot of like weird shit that I had with them. But my one sister never commented at all on it. And my other sister read a little bit of it and then didn't have time
Are they jealous of your success?
to
Or
finish. I have no idea. I don't know what, they're very successful in their own right.
They're okay with their own lives, but I can't believe you didn't put the surgery story in there.
I don't know.
That shows how good this book is. You don't know? Can you tell?
I don't know the
Chris
surgery story. I'm sorry.
When I was younger, I had to go get a lot of operations on my bladder, my kidneys, and it was during harvest season, so I had to go on a bus and go to Edmonton by myself and
To get
get operations by myself.
how old
tell
were
them
you?
how old.
I was 10. The first one I was 10.
What the fuck? You're a father.
What the fuck?
I know.
Why?
You know
When
that
you
little
look back
girl.
on it, it's crazy to think
That
about.
beyond crazy. You got a little girl.
I have a little girl.
Fast forward, she's now 10, and you're sitting on a bus
On
to
a,
get kidneys.
on a bus to Edmonton.
How long a bus ride was that?
I don't know,
Jesus.
4 hours or something.
4 hours by yourself on a bus, scared shitless because you're going to be getting an
I
operation.
wasn't that scared. I was actually kind of looking forward to it. I was going to meet new people.
You got a
I was-
bathroom inside?
Well, the nurses.
Yeah.
First of all, the nurses must have loved me or something. They were so fun and nice, and
Of course, they realized you didn't have a parent
Like,
around.
there's
Yeah.
no one ever.
They're human beings.
Well, I look back sometimes and I think how crazy. Like, you shared rooms with 4, 5, 6 other kids, and some of them are going through some real they
shit.
half their heads are shaved and whatever, and parents would come in waiting for them to wake up or from surgery, and I'd be like, and they're probably gonna sleep for a couple of hours. Do you want to play cards while you're waiting? Like, I was just like this needy. Hey,
Gee, so they didn't even come visit you, your parents?
they did, of course. Eventually, my father
Right.
never did, but my mom.
You were about to say, of course. Like they did, of course.
I
It's
mean,
like, well, if you're on a
at
bus
some
to
point.
Edmonton, I wouldn't
what-
think that they would.
I think they picked me up.
How long was the surgery? And you were out, right? You were out for the surgery?
Yes.
Okay.
So it was like a pretty big surgery.
Big
I had to
surgery.
get like an implant of some kind from whatever, I don't know what it's called, that goes from your bladder to your kidney.
Are they
that
okay? I
don't
tube,
know.
both of them I ended up having to get transplants.
Oh, that tube? That's the ureter.
The ureter
Yeah.
tubes, thank you.
Are they good now?
Apparently, yeah, seemed to be pretty good.
Well, you didn't get kidney transplants.
No,
Oh, just a part of it.
just the tube, the ureter.
Oh, the tube. Okay. So then how long were you there recovering?
Over a week, yeah.
By yourself, mostly.
Mostly, my aunt would come. She lived in the city.
Right.
And she would come.
And then who
visit.
got you back home?
And my mom came and picked
All
me
right,
up.
you didn't have to get back on the bus.
No,
at
no,
least.
no,
Okay.
no. They knew. Like, look, she can barely walk.
Get her on the Greyhound.
Would be wrong.
I cannot even
That's crazy.
Farmers,
my head around
tough
that
people,
one.
man.
They're
Farmers,
They are
tough
tough people.
very tough.
They are tough.
Not a lot of
And-
time for shit and nonsense. Just fucking get to work. Go
Yeah.
get your
Well,
kidney
that's
surgery.
the truth. And sometimes I think back on like,
Jeez.
I loved pretending I was a boy when I was little. Like when I was,
Me too.
and I would not wear a shirt a lot of times around the house, and I would identify, as they would say today, as a boy. And my hair was always cut very short, and they never, it just was like, whatever, you want short hair, have
Right.
short hair. Nobody cared about it,
So what, you just grew out of that stage?
I
Or
just
did-
grew out of it,
or-
and but it's weird because I think like if that was now, there would be like you'd go to therapy. They just wringing their hands a lot. Like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
Well,
more accepting, actually, now.
Well, if you didn't grow out of it, who knows what they would
I
have
mean,
done.
who knows?
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying people who are transgender from an early age shouldn't have parents pay attention to that and
Right.
deal with it. I'm just saying it's just a interesting sort of thing that
They didn't think twice about
They
it.
did not.
They were too
give
busy
two
harvesting.
shits about how if I wanted to call myself Max
And
or
getting
whatever.
their cows to hang in the garage for 28 days.
Yes.
Did you call yourself Max? Was that your little boy name?
I think I was trying to get everyone to.
Why did you get over that?
I don't know. I honestly don't.
It just was one of those stages you went through.
Yeah,
I
sticky
think the reason
fumblings.
is that I
What?
not so much that I wanted to be a boy, but everyone in my family was women except for my dad, and he was sort of the shit, and I was sort of.
You just wanted
I wanted
attention.
that power.
Right.
She wanted to be special.
Yes.
Bonnie wanted to be a special boy. Special boy named Max with no boobs.
I'm one of 7. I did it differently. My dad loved lima beans, so I decided one day I love lima beans.
Yes.
So mom would bring it to the table like, "Here's your lima beans for dad and you." Fucking hated lima beans,
I had
but it was
that
my
same thing.
it was my way of maybe bonding with.
Yes.
I look back now and it's kind of pathetic.
Terrible.
It's kind of pathetic, but you're one of 7. You're trying to get attention, and like, wait, I know. Dad loves these fucking things. Now I love them.
At least you got it through healthy ways.
That's true.
At least
Yeah.
lima beans are healthy.
Beans are superfood.
Sure.
Oh, I
Yeah.
hate it, and then I was glad I could move on from that stage. Of,
I did the same thing with liver. My dad loved liver, and no one else in the family liked liver. So I was going to be the one to like all.
Yeah.
And I remember when I'd come in and I'd smell that liver, and I'd just be like, "Oh, good liver,
Yay, liver.
Yay.
Stupid parents. Just
Is it
wake up and
anyone-
look around and fucking pay attention to your kids, so we don't have to do these shitty things that we don't want to do.
But is it any wonder? I mean, it's so easy, to get. I'm in the middle of watching Spotlight.
Love that.
Why would you
finished
stop it?
Well, because
Have to
I
masturbate?
wanted to.
That was a really good movie.
That was a good movie.
Really good.
I had to leave yesterday before it was done. I didn't have time.
Yeah, that was a good one. What else about the book? Give us a little more.
And then I don't just talk about the farm. I mean,
No, I
that's
know.
like a couple
That's-
chapters,
yeah.
and then
When did you leave?
when did I leave?
farm, yeah.
Oh, I was 18, and I moved around a bit, and I eventually ended up in Vancouver. And that's I did go to college a little bit, and then I got into advertising. I wanted to write advertising, so then I worked at an advertising agency, and then I was freelancing, and I wrote weird stuff like, I remember writing this most boring. I kept falling asleep doing it. It was safety equipment for kayaking.
Oh,
So I wrote like flyers like that. And
sounds good.
menu items
Right.
and try to come up with clever.
Did you see crazy people with Dudley Moore and Daryl Hannah and try to do it like that? Did you ever
Yes.
see that one?
I'll be honest.
Yeah, honest. Volvo, it's boxy but good.
Yeah.
How do you know that? That's amazing to me. How'd you pull that one out of your ass today?
I don't know, for the same reason, because all the space that people save for intimate relationships and warm interactions, I fill with movie
But
quotes.
it's like an obscure movie that I've never seen.
I've never seen it.
That's impressive. Anyway, and then how'd you move on to comedy?
Well, I was waitressing too because I, wasn't making enough money. And then somebody had said that they were looking for a hostess at this comedy club, and so I went down there and got the job. And
That was it.
Then
In
I-
Vancouver?
then I tried to write comedy for the comedians. I didn't want to do it. I just wanted to write
Right.
comedy for them, and everyone was like, "You're out of your fucking mind." Because first of all, they're not just comics; they're Canadian comics, so they really didn't make any money. So they just kept saying, "You have to do it. You have to do it." So after about a year of like just writing jokes and stuff, I started doing stand up.
When did you leave Canada?
I guess it would be like 96 or something like that, in that area. And I was in, and this is a fucking crazy story. Should I tell every story that's in the book?
Yeah, why not?
It won't hurt books.
You
that
don't
people-
have to read the book, you just have to buy it. So I I wanted to get on American television, so I called. There was a show called Caroline's Comedy Hour.
Sure.
I didn't have a TV, but I was at my friend's house and I saw it, and I was like,
Was
oh.
Jenny hosting that? Richard Jenny?
I think he was. Yeah.
You didn't have a TV?
No, I never had a TV growing up, and then I just never got one after that. I don't know why. It just was not a.
When did you officially have a TV in your house?
After
At
I
what
got
age?
married.
What?
When Rich met me in Los Angeles, he was like, "You don't have a TV."
You didn't have a TV when you were living in Los Angeles?
Why did
did
Rich
not.
buy one? Did
He
just want
bought
to,
one.
Do you want it to show you something he's never on?
He was on Last Comic Standing at the time. I don't know. I just.
That's why he bought the TV. Of course. You would have went at least another year without a TV if
Yeah.
he wasn't on that show.
And that's when I met Bonnie. I think I got to know you was when Rich was on there. Was it season
Yes.
2? Or was it the year after? You
Well-
guys, you was long distance dating in Vegas.
Yeah. What in Vegas?
Voss
We
was,
hung out in Vegas, me and you.
Oh yeah, right. But that
Voss?
was during the show. We were
Yeah.
booked on season 2 at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
And-
You got to tap out.
I did, yeah.
But anyway, so Rich Voss bought a TV because he was on TV.
Yes.
We
Yes.
all know Voss. He wasn't being nice. Anyway,
So then I just called Caroline's, the club, and I was like, who books the TV show? And somehow I got through to Joe Falzarano, or whatever his name is, that booked the show. And he said, so we chatted for a little bit. He was sort of incredulous that I had called him.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, I have some workmen in my office. They're fixing the ceiling. If you can make them laugh, I'll put you on the show.
really?
So I just started doing some stand-up. He put me on speaker. I had my notebook. I was going through it. And I remember not being worried about it. I was like, this is how it works. I knew this was going to be how it worked.
Yeah.
And then he goes, okay, yeah, you can do the show. Well, first he asked me if I was cute. And
course.
then
What'd you say?
I don't remember what I said, but I think I said something like, I don't have a full-length mirror. I made
Right.
some joke about
As you
it.
were Max.
I was being Max at that point, obviously. When I'm funny, it's all Max. And and then he said, do you have a manager? And this manager had written me like a letter to manage me,
Right.
but I didn't ever respond to it because I
Sure.
didn't know what a manager was even. And he'd seen, I'd won this contest in Canada, funniest new comic in Canada contest, and he'd seen that or something, so he'd written me this letter to manage me. So I just said that guy's name, and Joe Falzarano was like, "Oh, I know him. It's I'll we'll work it out."
Yeah.
And I went to New York.
Did the guy manage you?
Yes, he did for a while, and I never met him. I talked to him on the phone, and
You never met your manager?
I never met him. Well, until I went to New York and I stayed at his place.
Oh.
But he put his fiance on the phone, and she was like, "He's a pretty good guy," and I was like, "Good enough."
Good enough.
Is he still a manager?
Yes, he's a big manager.
Ah.
But we did have a falling out.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it
No, it's not Barry.
Okay.
God.
Good old.
But he
Anyway,
manages some big people.
and that's how it.
Oh, I think I know.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You're brave enough to leave. No one really leaves from your area, right?
Yeah, I mean, people, comedians would always be like, it's impossible. Or, there was tales of comedians that had gone to LA for, a couple months and come back. It's
Canadian.
too hard.
Right.
But
But no, you made it work.
Yeah.
The book is really good.
Yeah, I really
I'm
want
gonna
to
read it. I'm seriously gonna read it.
Yeah, I haven't read the whole thing. I really thought the surgery story. I'm amazed that's not in there.
No, because
You got it.
I felt like it was going to cause a
Fuck
Can't
it.
worry
a
about
real
that.
Yeah,
family.
fuck it.
Too bad.
And it's still a good book.
There's other
yes.
crazy. There's another story in there that I was so worried that my mom would be upset about.
Which one?
I don't want to say. It's like really.
What is it? What's the
She's
gist
reading the
of it?
book.
What?
Give us the topic. She's reading the book. She's going to get to it.
Well, I had sex against my will
Right.
in the book, and then I got pregnant.
Right.
You had sex against your will?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like it's funny, and I
You got
it's
raped?
funny.
Yes.
Twisted.
Yes.
You didn't know that?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I
my
didn't. I
God.
didn't know it till years later.
You thought it was just the way things worked?
Yes, I didn't realize.
Was that how you lost your virginity?
Yes.
Oh
yeah.
my
How old were you?
god.
Yeah, I was 17.
And who was the guy? What relationship, if you don't want to say his
He
name?
was he actually was an ex-boyfriend of my oldest sister, but he's just a guy that was at a party.
And what, did he get you drunk or did he drug
Yes,
you? Or?
I was super drunk, and it was just one of those.
So he raped you and got you pregnant? That was your first sexual experience?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awful. Did he ever get penalized for that?
No, I doubt. He.
What made you realize years later
God.
that it was actually
Well, I
rape?
had to go before. This is so great. So you could get an abortion in Canada at the time. You had to. So my mom and I drove to the States, and I think it was like North Dakota or something. And they before you could go in and get it, you had to go to a counseling session.
Right.
And the woman, who was so kind and nice, I remember, because I still was like, so like, oh God, like I'm so embarrassed. I got drunk and, I mean, I remember before it happened, like guzzling, like as a joke, like guzzling this whole bottle, like, and everyone was laughing because I had, just being an asshole,
Sure.
just being an idiot. And then
Being 17.
and then having this thing happen and just being like, oh God, like, then nobody ever said like, it's not your fault, or, it was like, oh, it was
Were
all
you
just
both
like, how
drunk?
are we going to, now how do we fix this?
Right.
Were you both drunk or did he like force you?
Oh no, it was forceful.
Oh,
it was
wow.
not, it was not,
fuck.
no, it hurt. That's why I was like, please fucking stop. So then, this woman, she was like, she goes, can you just tell me what happened? So I was telling her, and I was like, oh, I was drunk, and and she goes, it's not your fault. And I was like, what? Like, it was so crazy that she was saying that. And then she said, she goes, that's rape. And I was like, oh, brother. I remember just like writing her off as some crazy lady
Right.
until years later thinking like, oh my God, like that was.
Yeah.
You were like defending. I get in your head. It was like self-defense by you. Like your defense mechanism clicked in. You're like, I didn't get raped, and boom, shut it down.
I
That's-
think because I knew the guy, like to me,
Yeah, but what was the thought years later? We went, holy shit, of course it was rape.
I
You
don't
were
know,
saying
just
no
like
at the time?
just like
or-
other people telling their stories and me being like, oh God, that's awful, and then realizing like, oh, that's awful. That's like
Yeah.
What
a
happened
very
to you?
similar story that I have. That
How
I
old
just-
was he?
the guy?
Yeah.
So he was probably about 20, 21 maybe. Yeah.
Wow.
At least your mom drove you to that appointment instead of putting you on a bus.
No, there was talk about me flying myself.
Flying your...
Yeah, and I'd never been on a plane before, and I said to them, I can't do it. I cannot do it. I can't do it by myself. So
So she took you.
she drove me. She was
But it
not
wasn't
happy about it.
How long of a ride was it?
It was far. I don't remember exactly, but
Yeah.
this is okay. So this is the great. This is where I thought my mom was gonna like get mad at me telling this part. But after the procedure was done, my mom was, we were just gonna drive right home after that, right? And my mom was white as a sheet. She was just,
Sure.
it was a lot for her, and it was less traumatic for me for whatever reason. I was just happy it was done and then I could go home. And so I drove I drove the whole way home.
Jesus Christ.
And my mom. And so I was like writing these stories in my head. And I guess I must have been like a little bit like, laughing to myself. Just like, I don't know, it sounds crazy.
Sure.
And my mom goes, what are you thinking about? And I go, I'm just writing funny stories in my head. And she was like, she thought it was the devil. Like the look she gave me was like, how can this not be affecting you?
Well, that was your defense mechanism.
It was a
Yeah, just so that I didn't have to like deal with it.
You were blocking it out.
How
Yeah,
long
of
were you
course.
in the clinic for? Like it's in and out like in a couple hours, or
Yeah, it was probably like the whole thing probably took 4 hours.
Oh.
Right.
So they give you something that I don't know what it does, and it's painful. And
Shit. Oh, this wasn't a pill. They actually had to like.
yeah, no,
Go
they
in
went
there.
in and
Oh my God.
vacuumed.
Oof.
Yeah, but the doctors were really nice. Everyone was really nice. And
where in
Yeah.
the States was it?
what's that?
She
We're in
thinks
the
it was
States.
North Dakota.
I think it was, I have it in the
She's
book.
not
I don't
even
remember
sure.
now.
When and
But I looked at. I
you
asked
just
my
drove
mom
down.
or something.
Right.
From
Yeah.
okay.
And your dad, did your dad ever even know about it?
Oh yeah, my dad knew about it. My dad was actually not because he got my mom pregnant, and then they ended up getting married when they were.
Right.
So he did when he found out, he hugged me and said, "You're not the first person it ever happened to."
Oh wow.
But they didn't want me to get an
Right.
abortion. You know,
Oh, they
they
didn't.
really tried to talk me
Right.
out of it. And I
Talking
just
about the
was like,
pregnant part, not the rape part.
Not the rape part.
Yeah, yeah,
And they
yeah,
took
yeah,
it.
yeah. No,
They thought it was
I
a
don't think
mistake.
anyone ever. That was just not a thing.
Right.
That ever.
Man.
They told me not to
Damn.
tell anyone.
That you had gotten
Sure.
pregnant.
Yeah, I was really, and I didn't. I didn't even tell my oldest sister until she probably just found out from the book.
Was there
Oh, fuck.
going through customs? What did you say?
I
tell them
don't
why?
remember. I don't remember at all what going through customs. I'm sure we just drove. My mom probably said we're going shopping or something.
Yeah.
But I had money because I had a cow.
Right.
Growing up, that I had
Yeah.
an ice cream business, so I had all this money in the bank that I used.
She had her own cow, and
My mom made
she
me
had-
go to the bank and take out all the money.
from your
You
your
had
ice
to pay
cream
for
business.
it?
Yes.
You had to pay for it?
Well, her mom
Yes.
thought.
Oh,
well, you
my
know what? They
God.
thought she was just being careless. They had no idea you were raped. They thought, oh, she's behaving careless. Let her pay for it. Her
Yeah.
mistake.
That's
Yeah.
still
If she's insisting
awful.
on doing this thing we don't want her to do.
Yes,
She's
right.
17 though.
Right.
But I'm just saying that's the
Ah,
farmers
come
are
on.
tough.
They are tough. That's
You
what we're
fucked
learning.
up. You're
Yeah,
paying for it.
I guess.
Drive home from the abortion. Mother's not feeling well. Mother's gonna look out the window while you write
But
funny stories.
I will just say this: somebody read this part of the book, and they said to it was Christine, Big J's girlfriend, and she Big J told me this, that she'd said, "Oh my God, Bonnie was raped," and he goes, "Oh my God," and she goes, "No, it's really funny."
You made it funny.
I mean, it's not
You
like
found
this
humor in
super
the- in
heavy.
a
Yeah,
pretty-
yeah.
That's amazing.
Intense
God damn.
topic. Yeah. Well, we could go on and on, man. The book is going to do very well.
Did you ever see that guy again?
I saw him once at a bar, and he said to me, "Hey, that night was the best night I ever had."
Oh God.
So wait, did he not even
my-
realize what he had? Like, meaning, did he
No,
not
I
even
don't think-
consider it a rape?
I don't think he did. My friends were there. They heard me crying and screaming. And later they told me,
wow.
you were, because I was a virgin older than everyone. I mean, everyone just had sex really early where I grew up. And they were like, we just thought it was time. They just thought, yeah, it's painful, but it's time you went through it.
Did they know you were being forced, or they thought you were just screaming because it was uncomfortable?
They had to have. I mean,
There's some strange people in your life growing up.
It's time to get raped.
Yeah, you know what? We understood it was happening, but
Yeah.
we figured,
Oh,
get it over with.
well, isn't it better to get raped when you're 17 than when you're 21? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Easy. Well, we got to take a break. You're hanging for the rest of the show, right? Or you got?
Sure, yeah.
Or are you busy with this book tour of yours?
I don't know. I'm good.
Did she do good?
She did great.
She did great. I'm not used to
Nice.
having like Bonnie with people.
Is that
I
your
know.
You
publicist?
got people with
Hi.
you.
Hi, you work for the book company?
I do.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Did we sell the book properly, ma'am?
Excellent. Excellent job.
Oh, thank you. It's
great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's Bonnie Mcfarlane, You're Better Than Me, a memoir.
I really want to read this.
with the forward by
Memoir.
Anthony Bourdain. I'm going to download it today on Audible.
I'm
I can't-
100%
I can
reading
finally
this.
get it on
Swear.
Audible, right? Today?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I'll look right now.
I started it, and then I thought it was a galley copy. Like I was like, I'll wait till it's done. I didn't realize that the finished product was done a year before, so I wanted to read the final.
Yeah.
updated thing.
Yeah, there was a galley copy with like.
I just didn't realize that was the final copy.
And the book signings and
7 p.m. tonight.
Yeah, thanks, Jimmy.
At the Strand Bookstore with Jim Gaffigan, which should be very funny because Gaffigan's fucking hilarious, and them together will be really, really good. And Thursday night, she'll be in conversation. They put that in quotes appropriately because it's a revolting way to put it. Hi, I'm in conversation. With actress Emily Tarver, World
Who's really
Bookstore.
funny. She's really funny.
Who is she? Thursday at 7:30 at World Bookstore in Jersey City. Who is Emily Tarver?
Well, she was. She's Pete Lee's girlfriend.
Oh,
that's
Pete
how.
Lee.
That's how I met her. And but she's also on. She's
Donnie, right?
in the movie Sisters.
Is Pete a stand-up?
Yeah.
Pete Lee's a stand-up funny guy.
Okay.
Yeah, and she's really funny. She's just a funny person.
Yeah, she's cool.
And she's like an actress. She's in a bunch of. She's in Orange Is the New Black.
Oh, okay.
And she's
That's
totally
great.
in that show Donnie on USA.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break. Chris DiStefano also here Thursday through Saturday, comics at Mohegan Sun. The next weekend, Bananas in Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey.
Yes.
Oh, you're going to be at the Stress Factory soon, right, Barney?
Yeah, the first weekend in March, I'm at the Stress Factory. If you want to come
should
see
sell
me
books there.
live,
You should sell
I'm
books.
gonna do a book signing there. I think
It's
after.
awesome.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy's, wow. Oh, you're taking this week off, this weekend
Because
off.
Black Sabbath's in town, so I had
Right.
gigs that I moved.
At the Garden, right?
2 nights.
Black
yeah.
Sabbath?
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah. I know I can't do anything when Sabbath's in town. Except think
Isn't that great?
Except think of them. All I can do is think of them.
All your
I
energy
don't
has
even
to
know
go
one
toward Ozzy.
song.
Yes, you do. You just don't know it.
War Pigs.
Oh, War Pigs. Yeah, yeah.
Paranoid.
That's our
Iron
wedding
Man.
song.
I'll be in Red Bank the 3rd. I'll be in Montclair the 5th. Long Island is sold out. And then 10, 11, 12. Indianapolis, the Egyptian Room. Cleveland the next night at the Hard Rock, which is almost sold out. And then Grand Rapids, Michigan, the Fountain Street Church. That may be part of a festival. Go to jimnorton.com. I have 25 dates left.
Great. On the way, Lita Ford also has a book, Bonnie, but I won't do as good of a job. I promise you
Okay.
that. I promise. I'll be lackluster, especially if you're still here. Now, Lita Ford has a pretty good book out
Yes.
as well. She's telling some stories in there. Wow.
She certainly is. She's very nice, too. I met her at the... we roasted, I think, Dee Snider together, and she was very, very nice.
So she's coming up in, I don't know, about a half hour or so. More with Bonnie McFarlane and Chris DiStefano. You stay there. But it's a very good read. Bonnie McFarlane, You're Better Than Me, a memoir with Anthony Bourdain on board doing the forward. And really helps you out with the whole thing. We also got Chris DiStefano in studio.
Yep, I'm eating a muffin.
You're eating a muffin.
Yeah, that's what I got.
I meant to ask you, do you know what's going on with the Knicks and the tweet?
No, what happened? I
Kurt
didn't see
Rambis
it.
favorited some tweet of a girl playing with a pussy, I guess. And they
Kurt
said-
Rambit?
But
Oh,
now,
well, let me tell you something.
But now he's trying to say that his Twitter account was hacked.
Why can't he just like that?
That seems a bit suspicious.
This couldn't come at a more perfect time. I was at the game yesterday.
You're
and
still fooling around with that mic.
Yeah, it's fucking annoying.
What is the problem with it today?
it's a shit.
I'm just trying to fix it.
Yeah.
The wire is getting in my way.
Okay, there you go. What do you mean?
I was at the game yesterday, and the Knicks were getting blown out. And I was sitting with my girlfriend, and we both noticed.
Right behind Walt Frazier, I
Right
noticed.
behind Walt
You're
Frazier.
getting the good seats at the Garden.
Get in the good seats.
How are you getting those over and over again?
I don't know. I know a guy. I know a guy at one of the head guys over there.
Yeah.
So he, from Bender's that they used to hook us up with Ranger tickets, and then he was like, "Oh, I know you like basketball," so
Nice.
he gives me these good seats. But Rambis kept looking into the crowd. He wasn't paying attention to the game. He just kept looking in because all those models go to those games and sit in the front row.
Right.
And there was a group of models like James Dolan always brings this hook up with this modeling agency, and he kept looking at those models, and we were both like, "Your team is getting fucking smoked. You're just looking at these chicks."
Why does Dolan bring models to the game?
Dude, when you go sit and it's models that are on their phone. I took so many pictures of this one woman who was on her phone for literally
The entire game.
45 out of the 48 minutes. I was like, why are you sitting in front row seats? Give it to some fucking kid who actually cares.
Is he paying models just to be there to look all beautiful and shit?
I would imagine. Or they're just perks of it. Yesterday at the game, Dustin Hoffman was there. All these big people are there yesterday.
Right.
I
would have walked up and said, "You were great in Tootsie."
yeah.
So what's the deal with Kurt Rambis?
I don't know. Maybe he's his fucking sex addict.
He liked a masturbation photo on Twitter, but now they're saying his account was hacked.
I don't
Is
think
that
it was
how the
hacked.
story goes, Eric?
That's the story.
He was looking and it accidentally.
Do we have a clip of this?
There's a story about it, but there's no.
The New York Knicks have gone from
the Daily
one
News.
horny coach to another. Interim head coach Kurt Rambis showed he needs some help using Twitter over the weekend as he allegedly liked a very graphic, pornographic tweet of a woman masturbating. Rambis, who has nearly 44,000 followers on Twitter, allegedly clicked like on the image posted by an
Gives a
account called
fuck.
I know.
Who gives a fuck?
So he's a normal man?
All the
Yeah,
stuff,
exactly. Like, who doesn't like masturbate?
all the stuff athletes do, and the fucking drinking and the abusive relationships. This guy likes a girl fucking
Right.
playing with her box, and it's a problem.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is
Gives
he
a
can't.
shit.
The problem is he can't be honest about it because now
Right.
they have to come up with the his account was hacked.
No, he should have just because that
should have said
that bonds with the players right there.
But also, remember when your likes used to be private? Oh, God.
Yeah,
were they? Were they?
Yeah, I mean, well, you maybe you had to figure. Now
I
they
don't know.
put. Now it's like you can see what you're liking,
Right.
so easily.
Push play. I want to hear how this plays out.
At I Like to Touch. A Knicks official says the coach's account was hacked or spammed. Rambis, who has been married to his wife Linda since 1985, also follows at Great Ass Daily on Twitter. Rambis became
Yes.
Yeah, he's crazy. Like looking at a nice ass
Yes,
and watching
come
a girl
on.
play with herself.
But
You could-
also,
you could
doesn't
be
he get any
happily
credit for being married
Christ.
since 1985?
And you could be happily married and be looking at this shit on Twitter. They're hinting that that's bad because he's
bullshit.
married?
Then again, is anybody going after like the Daily News mentioned? That's not a story.
No.
The Nick coach liking a girl masturbating
Right.
is not a story.
No.
And you wonder why people hate the press.
Yeah.
I think they're.
I also like I Like Ass Daily. It's
That's
a
a good
very,
one.
very fine Twitter account,
Yeah.
I must say.
I think they're only making this a story because the Knicks coach was fired, and there was a story about him
Sure.
hitting on
Yeah,
girlfriends of players.
Of players,
and-
right.
Oh
It's
God.
just a team
Yeah, dude,
image.
he's never going to
thing.
get a job
I
coaching
think,
again.
I think the
Fisher.
story started with them saying they went from one horny coach to
another. Yeah.
to
So
another,
funny.
which is stupid too. Keep
Head
going.
coach
This
for the
story
Knicks
is
on
now just
February 9th.
Oh,
Oh wait, sorry, I'm trying
after
to
the
take
team.
it back. I can't.
Linda since 1985
Okay.
also follows at Great Ass Daily on
Great
Twitter.
Ass Daily. I gotta
Rambis
try
became
that
head
one.
coach for the Knicks on February 9th after the team fired Derek Fisher, who is also no stranger to controversy. Fisher was
this is a
involved in a messy love triangle.
controversy.
It's so. This is so.
Why is this controversy?
It's the only thing they're talking about.
We're all going to make
all
believe
stuff.
we don't check this shit out. Almost
Yeah.
every single person,
I mean, what else?
including probably the guy that's reading the story.
Yeah.
I say probably because I don't know,
Yeah.
but odds are.
Odds are 100. Yeah.
All right, push play.
Angle with the estranged wife of NBA player Matt Barnes, which involved a physical altercation between the two men in October.
That's another non-story today.
Stupid.
And then they had to spin and say that his Twitter account was hacked or some
I
kind
know,
of spam.
but that's like,
But you have to do that. Unfortunately,
who's hacking into your Twitter account to do one like?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I don't believe that his Twitter account got
No, but-
hacked, but that's what they're saying happened.
And if you hacked into the account, it would be they would retweet a bunch of them, not just one, or like a bunch of them, or do a bunch of crazy shit. You're
Right.
not just going to do one.
Is this the picture he liked?
Yes.
Well, all right.
That is disgusting.
Absolutely. He should be
Hello.
fired.
Well, hello there, young lady.
It's not even in her asshole.
It's sexist. It's racist. It's
Hot as shit.
ageist. I don't know. Yeah, transphobic. It's awful.
Man, that's
What a horrible human.
that's quite a reach she has.
Oh yeah.
That's
Look at that.
That's wonderful. Oh God.
I'm glad she did it in front of a mirror because I didn't know what was going on back then. I thought she was just pulling some toilet paper out, but no.
Yeah, you don't really need the mirror. I get it without the mirror, but
Yeah.
I'm kind of happy the mirror's back there. That's whatever. We're losing our minds.
This is what.
Yeah,
happens. Coach the Knicks.
Huh?
I mean, this is how bad the Knicks are. This is the only thing that they can talk about. Is their
And it says
Foreign
Dead's
coach.
been saying Knicks deny. What's that line again? Knicks deny. That Kurt Rambis was horny online. Is that even being horny online?
no. That's just being online.
You're online.
You're online.
I mean, you know, you're
Oh,
on.
if you're saying that's a given if you're online, you're
Yeah,
horny.
of course. Well, no, you're gonna look at this shit. I mean, how can you not? If you're online for more than 5 minutes, you're gonna look at some type of porn thing.
Sure.
Or something's gonna pop up an ad, and you're gonna click it.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
Come on.
if you're just looking at your own timeline, there's somebody
Yeah.
favoring something pretty outrageous.
Yeah, come on.
That's when I get surprised. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I think I got to really think this over if I should be following this person.
Bullshit.
It is.
They were going nuts for yesterday at the game for the new guy, Jimmer Fredette.
Oh,
the Mormon,
white guy, right?
Another white guy. Porzingis and Jimmer.
Got a couple white guys on the Knicks.
The white dudes, that's why you know they're in last place.
Fuck the Knicks. What else is going on in the world today as we know it?
Today?
Conor McGregor fight. Dos Anjos is out.
I just saw that. My brother-in-law just sent me a
Yeah,
text.
I got a tweet for that. And
What happened is
Why?
these Brazilian fighters, man, they fucking train too hard. They just train too hard, and so a little
a
over a
broken
week.
foot, right?
I don't know what it was. It was just an
According to my
injury.
brother-in-law down there in Philly, forced out of McGregor super fight at UFC 196 with broken foot.
This is the second time in a row McGregor has had his Brazilian opponent drop out. I'm not saying that there's a...
You can't fight with a broken foot.
That really is annoying and weak. I agree
Yeah.
with you 100%.
I mean, a broken hand I can see, but a broken foot.
And Bonnie actually means this. She's not even going for the
Yeah.
joke. She had to be
Exactly.
put on a bus by herself at 10 for a kidney operation. So
100%.
I would like to laugh
Yeah.
at that, but I think this is coming
Yeah.
from a real place.
She used to walk
Yeah.
around with a cow vagina in her
Right.
purse.
And then the only and then,
That was my purse.
Jesus. Although that could be taken as some funny humor there, Bonnie. I think you meant it.
100%.
Well, wait, I don't know.
Driving
is this
home from your own
boxing or what is
abortion.
Yeah,
it?
and the only reason
you
she
have
got
to.
a ride was because it wasn't harvest season.
Yeah.
This girl is tough. How tough is she? Well,
Body's tough.
Well, UFC is they kick.
Yeah, they do
Oh, they
everything.
kick.
Everything,
Okay, well then
Kick,
maybe I.
choke, punch,
Anything.
stomp.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I
maybe
still
a
think the
broken
foot stomp
would-
is one of the worst things that you could see in UFC. It
hurts.
Out of everything, even over the elbow fucking punch.
The foot stomp is brutal.
But you do hear about these gymnasts. They're 13 and they break their foot and they still, compete.
Are you talking about little?
I'm just saying.
Kerry
Mary Lou Retton.
Carrie Strug.
There's lots of
She was the
stories
one, right?
about it.
Had
Yeah.
a
she do?
torn ligament or something, and she still vaulted.
It's a torn ligament.
She had her head almost cut off with an axe, and she died with her feeding tube didn't work.
yeah.
Like, if you're a true athlete, you
and then
can.
the coach carried her off the.
It's mind over matter.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your body doesn't stop you. Your mind does.
Such wisdom.
Thank you. That's a CrossFit thing.
Very good. I figured.
You do CrossFit?
Yes. God, I'm gross.
Crazy.
I like some of the exercises, but I
Yeah.
don't like the whole you have to wait for everybody.
Oh,
who, was
fuck that.
who was telling us? Was it you?
Yeah, the way you have to go around in a circle and introduce yourself.
Oh God, no! Like
Yeah.
this, you have to socialize
that.
a little too much.
Yeah, I
think.
just want to work out.
Come on, let's go. I don't want people rooting for me.
No, that's the worst part. But that makes you go harder because you don't want to be the last one.
Or having to train and correct your partner, like when the coach would be like, "Chris, tell me what he's doing wrong." I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Oh no,
I'm
we
too
don't have
insecure
it like
for
that. Oh,
I want to
God,
be left
would not.
alone when I work
Yeah.
out. Me and my fucking trainer. Go
Right.
away.
Yeah.
Stop rooting for each other. Come on, let's get up there.
hate
Get
it.
over that hurdle.
And it's
Fuck you.
$250 a month. At least in Brooklyn, it is.
It's ridiculous.
Well, I do it
crazy.
in New Jersey, so we're all a little bit mean to each other. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We don't have that.
What kind of-
It's not like an acting class where you're like, you're doing great.
Are you taking sledgehammers to truck tires? Is that CrossFit?
No.
No, it's Rocky 3.
No, well, they got the fucking.
Yeah.
He knows.
Yeah.
I thought that was CrossFit.
No,
What's CrossFit then? I thought
It's
it was
like-
some of those unconventional.
It's a lot of squats and
Yeah.
deadlifts and
Snatches.
Snatches.
Oh my God.
Snatches.
Wait,
Now
what?
we're talking.
Loads of snatches.
Oh, I'd like to help you out with your snatch.
Loaded my snatch.
Well, here's what I like about it. I know it sounds gross, but it's that you go in and somebody else has already figured out your workout for you.
Well, that's like getting a trainer.
That's a trainer,
So
yeah.
yeah, I mean, then you just do it and you go home and it's
Have you gotten injured yet? Because they say everybody gets injured if you do it for at least a year.
I don't try.
No.
No, I've not gotten injured.
I do CrossFit sit-ups once in a while. My trainer will have me do them, but this whole team thing and run and you can do it.
Yeah.
Drive me nuts. God, I would hate
It was
all
so
that.
annoying.
Because it
I just
left
wanna
to
be
my
left
own
alone.
thing, I just
Yeah.
would jog. I just
Yeah.
would jog. I'll jog for
Well,
an
how about
hour, but
just get a
Right.
trainer then, Bonnie.
I
And
know.
they'll get you. They'll take you through all this stuff.
Well, I can't
Yeah.
afford a
And
trainer.
they'll mix it. If you're paying for CrossFit, you could afford a trainer. I think. No?
I saw footage
not.
of the world's strongest man doing some CrossFit when he was lifting the weights. Did we watch that here on the show?
I don't think so.
It was I forget his name. He's 6'8", and they was
yeah,
doing.
yeah.
He's a big kid.
The strongest man.
That,
yeah, we
when
did
that
watch.
Trophy Kids guy was in. That's when we watched
Right,
it.
Yeah, we did watch a little
Brian
of that.
Shaw.
Yeah.
I was just watching him. Like I didn't realize everybody did it.
Yeah.
He's a 2-time world's strongest man. I guess they all lift weights.
Look how
That
big
guy?
that
Yeah,
guy is.
yeah.
He's a mountain.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
and they
big.
just lift weights over their head like for a certain amount of time.
Right.
I don't know how long you do it for. It just seems like a lot of cardio.
They all have their cameras up, so this is going to be pretty impressive.
Yeah, you lift it up over your head, then you come down and touch. Look at, and it seems like an exhausting exercise.
That's I've been there. Yesterday I had to do 65 handstand push-ups.
I could never
That's a
do
lot.
that. In a row?
Well, you do them.
So you could do a handstand push-up?
Yeah,
Wow, that's impressive.
I couldn't when I got there.
All right.
You couldn't even do one, and now you could do 65?
I couldn't even do a push-up, like a regular push-up.
And now how many regular push-ups could you bang out?
2.
I don't know. I mean,
Two.
Two.
the thing is, you don't have to do them all like at once. You do
Right.
like 5 at a time.
Circuits.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
got a rancher or a ranger. He wants in on that whole cowspiracy thing that I brought up. I knew it would get the people talking
What?
about the cows ruining our earth
And
more
does
than
he-
anything else.
He believes it or he doesn't.
I don't know. Let's find out from Zach in Texas. Zach,
Hey, Opie, how you doing?
pretty good, Zach.
Well, yeah, I haven't seen the documentary, but I just wanted to ask you, people, they go into these documentaries, do you think they go in completely unbiased?
Of course
Or-
not. No, of course not. Everyone
Okay.
has their own angle or slant on things. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
That's why I acknowledge that a lot of people are saying the numbers from Cowspiracy aren't accurate. And then someone turned me on to, I haven't done it yet to be honest, but some of the guys were on Joe Rogan's podcast, and they're like, you really got to listen to that because Joe Rogan challenges them on some of the facts from the movie. But I think everyone has an angle in their documentaries.
Yeah, I mean, down here, I grew up on a ranch. I'm not.
Me too.
I could tell, yeah, by your voice. Yeah, I grew up on a ranch. Yeah.
But I mean, it's hard, and what Bonnie was talking about. I definitely haven't experienced, that kind of butchering your own cattle and
Yep.
taking a crap in the outhouse type of deal. But my father and his grandmother, and they kind of did that. And he tells me, it used to be a lot different. But here, like down here, I work on a ranch, and I'm sorry, I'm a little bit nervous. So, but
Oh, come on, you're doing great.
I'm
You're among friends, Ricky.
But I just wanted to ask you.
I haven't talked to another human being in 2.5 months.
Not on the phone like this.
I think being a farmer is pretty damn impressive. That's why I don't get the whole not having running water or something
That's
better
easy.
than shitting in a bucket.
Well, listen, we didn't do it because we loved that lifestyle. My parents were really, really poor.
Right.
So that's why we lived like that. And then,
Yeah, I mean, it was something. If you like, I'll give you an example. If you had a down cow, you didn't want to just kill it and be wasteful. People utilized everything they had, used the land. It's,
Wow, you're panicking, bro.
Sir, what's
He's
happening
gone?
to you? He's having mini strokes.
He just hung up. That wasn't us.
I think he
He just completely panicked.
he just was walking and not paying attention and fell into the well.
Yeah. Right into the Mcfarlane shit.
I think he just wanted it all to go away. So he just hung up. That was not us.
That's so funny.
I don't know what his point was.
I don't think we had a problem on our end. The point was he was really nervous and thought he had something to say and
It's
realized.
like
That's great.
if we could get another farmer to call us, that would be
That's
great.
all right.
That's great. He just ended it.
No,
But they have those like farmer ads, like instead of like J-Date, it's
Farmers
like for
only.
farmers,
Right.
farmers only, or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's so great because I don't know why it's like real. It's
Right.
so funny because of course a gal who grew up in Manhattan wouldn't understand what it's like to date a farmer, a man of the earth.
is that a good thing?
What?
to date a farmer, you think?
Well, I mean, you either like that lifestyle or you don't.
Exactly. I don't know. He made a good point about documentaries. Of course, everyone has their own.
They're all slanted.
They're
yeah.
all slanted, but I didn't know the first thing about raising beef for our consumption and what it's doing to the earth. So now it at least got me interested in the thing, and I'm going to try to get more sources and try to form my own opinion eventually. We had the guy that did the pharmaceutical documentary, and we got attacked on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah, that guy's full of fucking
What was
shit,
his
blah,
angle
blah, blah.
on it?
Well, I mean, the pharmaceutical industry is a pretty scary industry.
They're running the country.
They talk about the illegal.
I'm saying shit I don't know anything about.
But they talk about the illegal drugs in this
How
country.
do you fight an ideology? No, I don't know.
But people got mad, and this guy was just presenting, a point of view, and did a doc on the pharmaceutical industry and how we all in this country focus on the illegal drugs, but everyone's hooked on legal drugs. Right. And it seems to be a bit out of control, don't you think? Everyone seems to be addicted to some kind of pill in this country.
Yes.
I'm addicted to omega-3 fish oil pills.
I'm addicted
Those will
to
make
Cialis.
you shit like a motherfucker.
That and Vitamin Code from Whole Foods. That's the ones I take.
Vitamin Code.
Vitamin Code. 1 a day for men.
Oh,
daily.
can you tell us other supplements that you're taking? This is fascinating.
I got nothing. I've had nothing all morning, so I just.
No, come on, stop it. Vitamin talk.
I take an iron.
Yeah. I take an aspirin for my blood pressure.
Oh, good. It's all kidding aside.
But people were pissed when we were talking about illegal drugs. I don't know. I think a lot of people are taking a lot of shit they don't have to take.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never taken any. I'm not a legal drug person. I'm an illegal drug person.
CVS, they have that automated. They give you a text like my prescription's ready. So I had a prescription for something.
Midol?
And thanks.
Oh, you gotcha.
Oh shit.
Midol's over the counter.
And
Oh my god.
I just had to fire out a line. I couldn't.
So I'm coming out. I'm just trying to talk. It's over the
appreciate
counter,
that.
Jim.
And I got a refill for something I obviously don't need, but they're pushing me to go get my refill. And I couldn't even tell you what it was because they don't tell you through the text what prescriptions.
I've gotten those too. Like we haven't heard from you in a while.
But I don't need it. But I would assume a lot of people get that text and and they just like zombies go to the CVS and get that prescription filled. But I obviously don't need it
But you're
anymore.
obviously
Whatever
a
it
better
was.
person.
Better. Well, in that documentary, it said that we're the only country that advertises and markets prescriptions. No other countries do that. If you're sick, your doctor will tell you take this. But we're the country that we market it to the consumer.
Right. Are you
Nobody
sad?
else does that.
Have you been sad for 3 months?
Yeah.
Well, they're coming up with new diseases too. I completely believe that.
Exactly.
Restless leg
Cutitis.
syndrome.
Well,
Cutitis. What do you take for cutitis?
I thought you said
Diagnosed.
shootitis.
What do you take for your cutitis?
They just tell me to take pills and smile.
but sometimes they make a pill and then they don't know what they're going to market it as. So this pill could work for this or this. So they actually have people that their job is to figure out where the best place to put this pill in the market.
Well, Viagra is the famous one. That was what was it for originally again?
Keep your dick hard.
Tooth whitening.
Tooth whitening.
Yes. Which technically, I guess, it's
what was it for?
heart.
Blood pressure.
Yeah.
Blood pressure, and then they realized, holy shit, this gets your dick hard. And they said, fuck that. Who gives a fuck about the heart?
Right.
We could sell a lot more of these if we market it for the penis.
Yeah.
But I only take it for my heart. But
I don't know.
I love a good Viagra.
Yeah.
Oh, your dick's all turgid.
You like the feeling?
that's a real.
You like the feeling
turgid.
down there?
Yeah.
My buddy Pat Finnegan, I said this last time, that's what he does. He doesn't take any pills. He just goes out and drinks and takes Viagra. But he doesn't fuck. He said if you fuck or you come, it's the high is off, just all his blood rushing.
He just likes walking around with a heart on?
Every time you go out with him, he'll offer you a Viagra. Every single time.
And those are not cheap.
No, and he has pockets full of them. He's probably listening right now. If you're listening, call in.
I would love to
Yeah,
talk.
So I
no,
wanted
dude,
to
he
eat a
does it all the
Viagra out of Pat's pocket.
He's a loose Viagra.
Because
Hey, you're picking the lint off.
Yeah,
it.
He's
exactly.
also a
That's delicious.
firefighter. He's also a firefighter. He said he fucking pops Viagra's going into fire sometimes too. Because
well,
the
I don't
adrenaline up.
understand. It gets you high somehow.
He claims it.
All right,
He's an idiot.
we
He
claims-
likes his dick being hard.
We need
Good for him.
Pat
He's
to
a good
call in
boy.
because
Yeah,
I
we
don't.
need
I
to
don't
call
get
him
it.
because
I'm gonna
Rich will
text him.
take a Viagra, and then if I don't have sex with him, he'll be like, "We're wasting money."
Right.
And so
he panics.
Yes.
Heard the stories over the years.
Yeah.
Just jerk off.
But I would
I
assume.
tried to just give him the money. Leave me alone.
Here's $8. Go jerk off on the floor.
I would assume if you're taking a Viagra or a Cialis, you're wanting to have sex. That's weird. He's taking it, and it's not for the sex part of
He
it.
just pops them and drinks. I mean, I'm sure he's had sex on them, but that's like his thing.
But the hard-on could get really uncomfortable, man. Jesus,
he says
if
no.
you're not relieving that shit.
Well, it doesn't just give you a hard on. You still have to be aroused for it to work.
You do,
right?
but the arousal level is different. You
Isn't
do.
it pretty much anything almost?
No,
A
but
little rub and you're good?
No, but the things that should normally, it just makes you feel better about yourself.
Jimmy.
In every way, shape, and form. I love it.
Guy's self-esteem is just so attached to the dick. It's
It is.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
It is.
Like if I had a big vagina, I'd probably still be the same person. But
Well,
Right.
you heard about Hitler, right?
yeah, no, I didn't click. I didn't click it, but I saw the headline.
That's all I needed to
Tiny
know.
penis.
But
Tiny penis.
how small?
They said
micro
They said
penis.
it's micropenia. They said they said historians knew he had a descending left testicle, and he was always weird with women. But somehow, through like Nazi things they wrote down, and they found something that now they've actually found out he had micropenia, which is a disease where he can't even pee. Like when he would pee, it sprays. He would pee all over like. His
the
legs.
holes at the bottom.
Right. And
I think they're just trying to knock a great man.
But
So,
what? When
that's
he
what they
wa-
say
like,
now.
but then when he, it seems weird that he would want to kill the like. You think
That's
he'd
what I'm
want the
saying.
Jews around, like more more people to.
right, because if you had something wrong with you, you were first
Yeah.
to go.
Well, you're not exactly rational when you realize you have a micro penis. You probably
Micropenia.
I got to kill a few
he was
people.
mad they could get circumcised, and he couldn't.
That's right. It's a little wiener.
Suffered from a condition called hypospadias.
Hopospadias.
Well, first of all, if you have a tiny, like
It's
if
a
you have a
chuppah.
small penis, I don't think it's as big a deal as guys think. But if you have like an
condition.
actual little penis,
Yeah.
Like I don't even think he could have sex. He didn't have children, Hitler, did he?
No.
Yeah, I don't think.
Abnormally small manhood.
And the article said I don't think he could do anything. So it was like a true.
Like, click on the link.
is it Eva
issue.
or Ava? Was his?
Uncovered medical records confirm his embarrassing deformity. It's so severe that sufferers have to urinate from a hole at the base of the shaft instead
Oh
of the
my
tip.
God!
A
like
German
a
historian
vagina.
found the proof that Hitler really did have one testicle, as per the famous 1939 playground ditty. Hitler himself
Playground ditty?
is
What's
believed.
the famous playground
What's the
ditty? I don't
playground
remember
ditty?
that one.
I don't know.
Little
I know
ditty
Hitler
dada?
was a jerk. Hitler was a jerk. On my way to work, Hitler was a jerk. Mussolini bit his weenie. Now it doesn't work. You remember that one?
No, no,
When
I
was a kid,
don't.
Is
used
that
to
real?
sing that. Why would I would never have just made that up.
I was just saying, did you just freestyle that?
No.
Oh.
Something about work. What?
An undescended testicle and
Are we still on the air?
Yeah.
My headphones went completely out.
Uh-oh.
Are we still on though?
I hope so. It's riveting. Hitler penis
That
check.
sounded really weird.
no, when you start talking about Hitler's penis,
Absolutely.
They're gonna shut you down.
A bunch of PC people.
What?
Yeah. So he might have had hypospadias. I'm sure Dr. Steve knows. That's when the urethras doesn't exist. So you have to urinate from the base.
From the base. They
Sit
put a
down
hole
like
in
a
the base.
woman.
Oh,
but then
God.
Dr. Steve just gets ugly about it. You have to sit down like a little sissy pussy boy girly man. And you have to pee out of what would normally be a cunt hole.
oh God, I mean that is. Now I feel bad. Now I feel bad for him.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a bad rap. His better painter than he got credit
Now
for.
it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, no, it does.
No,
Sure it does.
Just wanted to
But I
paint
do-
little
I-
flowers.
I do feel bad for guys who have an actual
Little.
Micro
little
dick, yeah.
Micro
penis. It's I mean like a sort of on the smaller size, not a big. I don't think women care that much.
What's the smallest penis you've ever hooked up with? Would you
It's
say?
it's not the smallest. It's the thinnest penis was the worst. It
Okay.
was just awful.
Really?
Like,
So if it's smaller but thicker, that's better.
oh yeah, give me some
Fat.
girth. I'll take girth.
Fat
Yeah.
cock.
Yeah,
So what'd you do with the small penis? The thin little.
I fucked
wiener?
it once. And that was it.
One hump.
I was like, again,
Yeah.
Oh, poor.
I can never do this
We
again.
have the words to the song.
Hitler has only got one ball. The other. Okay. The body 39. Hitler has only got one ball. The other is in the Albert Hall. His mother, the dirty bitch, cut it off when he was small. Hitler has only got one ball. Goering has two, but very small. Himmler has something similar, but poor old Goebbels has no ball at all.
Oh, it doesn't rhyme at the end.
Nah, well, you know,
They don't care.
they got distracted.
Pay attention to detail.
Yeah.
Damn, see? So there it is.
Goebbels.
There's a reason. There's always a
Goering
reason.
has two, but very small. Himmler has something similar.
I like that. Yes.
It should have rhymed with Himmler.
Himmler.
Should have rhymed with Himmler.
But you don't know the tune, so maybe
I'm going to try to
works.
find it.
And
Yeah,
this is
please.
1939. This is
Yeah.
before the shit even went down.
Exactly.
How
No
would
wonder
they-
they got angry? Probably written by a couple of Jews. Hitler didn't like that
But
rhyme.
that's how it all began.
He didn't know who wrote it, so he was just going to get them by process of elimination. I don't know what Jews wrote that, did he? But I'll fix their wagon.
Who the fuck did he tell? It had to be his mom.
Someone saw it in the locker room. Kids can
Oh
be cruel.
my God, they can be cruel.
Yeah.
Can you
was-
get me some headphones?
Okay,
This is weird.
I have the music.
They knocked it off.
They knocked it off.
Amps. Yeah, amps. Somebody knocked off the power, so I gotta find the power.
Are we still on the air?
Yep.
Okay, that's good.
Thank God, entertaining people.
They'll just cut you up. That's happened before?
It's 9:53,
just
so we have.
stop?
We should take a break anyway.
Yeah, quick break and then Lita Ford. There's some very interesting things in her book.
Yeah, something fucking popped, and then I thought it took us off the air, but it's just my headphones, I guess. All right. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, Lita Ford has a lot of great stuff in that book.
Yes. It's called Living Like a Runaway. It is out, I believe, today. Tuesday is book day for some reason. And a tremendous amount of signings and all that stuff, and we'll talk to her next.
Sounds good. Stay
Yes.
there. As we learned that Hitler had a very tiny one.
We have to say we don't want to get sued by the estate of Adolf Hitler.
Yes, exactly, Jimmy. And he had to pee out of the base of his shaft.
Yeah.
They put a little hole down there for him.
Yeah, I sit down in the urinate like a sissy boy. Like a little woman pissing out of that useless hole. Dr. Steve just gets angry when he discusses Hitler.
I would love to get Dr. Steve on to talk about this condition.
Yeah.
Wow, that doesn't sound like a good one you'd want.
I was stricken with a very similar condition. They thought I was a girl. I had a vagina. A little slit at the base of the shaft.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to clean it with rubbing alcohol so it doesn't smell.
And get infected.
Yeah, it gets infected. Sometimes maggots will crawl into it.
Oh, my God. Probably squeeze a little out for his wine.
Yeah. Sometimes when I sneeze, a little fluid will come out of it and fall on my shoes. My vagina shaft.
Shoes.
What is it called again? Hyposadius? Hypospadius. Hypospadius.
Chris knows about all the.
I was saying micropenia, but I guess hypospadius is the better.
How did you know Urida or whatever it's called?
Ureter?
Yeah, bring
because
her
I
in,
just
man.
know
He
that
did. He was
that's
a
what
physical
connect-
therapist.
Yeah. I have a doctorate degree in physical therapy.
Oh my God!
I swear on that. Yeah,
That's what he'll eventually do for a living.
Yes,
need anything
exactly.
There was no way though that like.
Yeah.
Chris gave me a massage once. He's very, very knowledgeable.
You need
guy.
anything rubbed out?
Oh my
What do you
God! Is that why
need?
you're on the show now?
Yes. Yes. That's why I'm on the show.
Lita Ford.
Hello.
Hey.
Guys,
You are a wild. Wow, you look all right, Lita Ford.
I'm what?
You look all right.
All right.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Thanks. Just promoting the new book, hanging out.
I
Gonna
was-
have some dinner tonight and celebrate.
Where do you live?
Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
Los Angeles.
I was reading up on the book.
Hells Angels.
You got a story to tell.
Yeah.
And you're not holding back.
No.
You finally said fuck it.
Yeah, I did.
Was your first one as open as this one? You wrote another book. I don't know when it was called. Black. Was that your first book?
No, this is my first book.
Oh, it is your first book. Well, our prep sheet is incorrect. Okay, because I was wondering, like, did any of this stuff get talked about in the first book? How hard was it to go over this stuff again?
Some of it was difficult. The parts about my children and things like that, that was difficult.
Yeah, there's two kids that you don't see, right?
The father has alienated the children from me.
Two.
For no reason, just to be mean.
How
just
old
to
are they?
Hurt me. 14 and 18 now, but it's been 5 years.
Can you imagine that?
That's fucking.
We're parents in here. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's
How
awful.
do you deal with that on a day-to-day basis?
I keep busy.
Just keep busy.
I keep working.
You can't get them back. You can't talk to the dad and see them.
He won't allow it. He won't let me. He has arranged. He has worked it out. So if I phone, the
Right.
phone just rings. It just rings.
Right.
There's no voicemail.
Right.
There's nothing. I don't even think the phone's plugged in.
But that's because normally it's the reverse. How did he get the custody of them?
Yeah, what does he say?
How did this happen?
Money.
Oh, money. Okay.
But what does he say?
Yeah.
What
Yeah, what
is-
did he allege?
what is his problem
Right.
with you that he would go down this
Yeah,
road?
and that the judge would fucking believe.
He actually grew up in a family that did this to his mother. They did it to his sister, and now they're doing it to me.
What,
Yeah.
isolated the kids from the mother?
Yeah.
What?
For what reason?
I don't know. I really don't understand. There's really no reason. It's they use the kids as a weapon, and this is not just me. Right now, I think Madonna is going through something similar, but it's a worldwide problem that we have, and our legal system does nothing about it. They actually encourage it because you end up paying the attorneys more money.
Well, you're referencing Madonna's son who wants to live with Guy over there in London, right? Yeah, he's just had it with his mom.
Oh,
Yeah, her touring
like-
schedule's a bit
Yeah.
much.
He's like a teenager, and he's has
fucking-
decided that he doesn't want to be with mom, and he wants to be with dad.
But I thought, like, if to take the kids away from their mother because
Right.
they're so close that like there has to be like a reason or like I didn't know guys can just do that. I didn't know fathers
No.
could just do. Yeah.
There's no reason.
Just do it. Just the judge is really. It comes down to if the judge says, "Okay, go with that," kind of thing.
Do you get updates on the kids or anything?
Yeah.
Nothing. I don't know where they are.
Oh
And it's
my
been
God,
5
that's gotta
years.
be. Are
It's
those
been
your
5
only two
years.
children?
Yeah.
Oh
Now,
my
did you
God.
did you sign? And by the way, the book, your album was called Black, right? In '95. That was a mistake I made. Saying that
The album is called Black.
Sorry,
that
yeah,
was an album.
I misread
did.
that as a book. That's why I was because it said after Black was released, you had to step away from music to raise your two sons.
Yes. I wanted to. I wanted
right.
to be a mom. I wanted to be the mother I had.
Sure.
And I just wanted to focus on my kids and give the music industry a rest because the grunge scene had kicked in also. So it was a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
How'd that affect you musically, the grunge scene?
I was okay with it because I wanted to focus on my kids.
Well, it wiped out
Yeah.
a lot of artists for a while.
Yeah.
They all
Yeah.
just went away.
I
'cause it was all
thought I
about
was
grunge.
done. I didn't think that I would be able to come back, and grunge kind of died down, and my kids got a little older, and the divorce and everything happened, and I just turned to my guitar and started writing songs. Living Like a Runaway is not a made up title. I really was living like a runaway at one point.
Did you have to sign anything like for full custody? Did you guys go through? You went through a whole legal thing, and at the end, did you were getting supervised visits at one point? Did you have to sign something that said, "Okay, I'm okay with this"?
I signed something, but it did not give him the right to disappear.
So what he's doing is illegal. You can.
It's illegal.
So you can't. Is there a way to sue him or get an attorney on your end and be like because he has to let you see his kids.
I don't know where he is.
Let you see your kids.
If I could find him,
There's got to be a way to
he
find
There's
it.
got to be a way.
in contempt of court.
Yeah, let me ask you, because if you were doing only
Yeah,
the
you
supervised visits, what was it that you signed that gave up full custody? Like, why did you agree to that?
Abuse. He was abusing the kids, and
Wait, he was abusing the kids?
yeah, verbally, and
Oh.
getting them to do things that were just. I mean, I really shouldn't be talking about it, but he was getting them to do things that were hurting them.
Right.
And mentally, they were just devastated. They were absolutely devastated. And the pain in them because of what he was doing was unbearable. I would have signed anything to get him to stop doing what he was doing.
So you thought by signing that he would stop abusing your kids?
Yeah. I thought
what
that
kind of stuff
he
did
would
it-
ease up.
What kind of stuff did he have him do?
Well, he would wire them for sound. Whereas when the kids came to visit me, they would not speak. They wouldn't stay in the same room as me. They wouldn't pet the dogs. It was their dogs. They
Right.
wouldn't pet the dogs. They wouldn't function in any way towards me.
Yeah.
Because
Was he trying to get the kids to get you to say something in front of them that he could use against you? Why was he wiring them
he
for
would
sound?
use everything against
Anything
me.
he could.
Anything. Oh, she went over the speed limit. Okay, so it gets documented. I went over the speed limit. We're driving on the turnpike in Miami, Everybody goes over the speed
Sure.
limit. Everybody.
How do you know you went over the speed limit?
Somebody said they saw the speedometer,
Right.
And they said, "Oh, it was 90," and so then he used that against me and said that she's crazy and she can't drive right. So. I mean, I've been driving the kids since they were born.
Yeah.
You know, why all of a sudden?
Right.
So someone saw that you were going 90 in the car.
It was Child Protective Services was sitting in the
gotcha.
passenger seat, and she actually said, "You're slow down." So I did. I slowed down. But then when she went back to the courts, to the attorneys, she said Lita was going over the speed limit. And the kids were crying because they had been given, they had been to summer camp, and we were trying to separate them from the dad. So we sent them to summer camp. And it was good for them. They got to be with other kids. But he was sending them brainwashing books. And I found one of the books in their luggage, which I wasn't allowed to touch. But because they had given me such large suitcases of stuff that they had from summer camp, I couldn't get it in my car. So I had to take the stuff out of the suitcases, put the stuff in the trunk, and get rid of the suitcases and leave them behind because they wouldn't fit in the car when I went to go pick them up.
How big is a suitcase that it doesn't fit in
How
a
small
car?
is a car? You're very
Yeah, that was my question.
fuel
Yeah.
economy.
Who'd you have, the smart
was,
car?
No, it was a
I've never
little
seen a
sports.
suitcase that big.
I think you guys are missing the point.
Oh, sorry, Bonnie.
Well, yeah,
Sorry, Bonnie.
Lita, was there anything like? Because something doesn't make sense. Like that he was able to get away with this. Like, were you partying or something at one point and then you stopped? Or like,
No,
What was it that he
absolutely
could
not.
say that would? Because you're a rock star. You're not an anonymous person.
He would make up stuff all the time. He would just make up stuff and stop me in midstream of sentence and say, I mean, it's absolutely absurd. I could go on and on and on about
Yeah, the suitcase
little-
thing's absurd.
That's crazy.
It
That's
wasn't.
crazy.
It was a tub of what the kids had
Right.
to take to summer
Gotcha.
camp. It wasn't a suitcase. It was like a plastic container.
Sure.
Where like a
Yeah, like the big ones. I see at the
Big ones.
Container Store.
Yeah.
Great store, the Container Store.
Stuff you would
What do
store
they
your
sell there?
clothes in. So I don't know why they wanted them to take the kids at summer camp. I don't know, but that's what they,
How did you know this guy?
What's going on?
he. I met him at a show in Dallas, and
Is he a performer or is he a fan or?
he was just like gum stuck to the bottom of my shoe. I couldn't get rid of.
Oh, it's like a stalker, weird fucking guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So wait, he was a guy who was he in the business or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Kinda.
so you said he was gum stuck to your shoe. He pursued you.
Yeah. Big
But you
time.
could have just said, you know,
What made you actually go with him?
yeah,
Yeah. That was.
and then have two kids with him.
I had lost my parents. My parents died, and I had nobody. I didn't have brother, sister, mother, father. I was alone, and the music industry was going into the grunge scene. So I was ready to take a break from the music
Sure.
industry. And when I met him, I kind of got talked into getting married. And
Right.
I'm loyal. I'm faithful. I'm somebody who, I'm like a dog. And I'm actually, if you look up my horoscope, I'm the sign of the dog.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to make it work. I wanted to be there and be faithful and be
They
loyal.
always ask this question: if you could be a dog, what kind of dog would you be?
What kind of dog?
Who
Yeah.
asked that question?
No one has ever asked that stupid
They
question.
always
If
do.
it was me, yeah, Saint Bernard. That's what the dog I'd be.
Cool. How about Old Yeller?
Yeah,
Is that the only reason you asked? So you can tell your dog?
yeah, Saint Bernard.
You didn't
Saint
even want to
Bernard.
know her answer. You
No,
just
I
wanted to
did.
say you want to be a Saint Bernard.
No, I.
So did you fall in love with this guy for a little while, and then you realized
in the
this was
end, the only thing they had to use against me in the end was that I went over the speed limit.
Yeah.
And what else?
and the court took your kids away.
And that-
for
and
That's
the
a hard
suitcase.
thing to lose
No.
full
And the
custody.
suitcase.
No, the court did not take my kids away.
Oh, sorry.
He did.
He did.
But I don't understand how he can't do that's illegal. You can't do
Yes,
that.
it is. It is illegal.
So, but there's got to be a way you can get your fucking kids back.
Well, she signed full custody to him. The worst. Why were the visits supervised? How did he pull that off? It's very hard to get a mother to not be able to see her kids.
What
Yeah,
happened? Okay, let me explain this. And I really shouldn't be talking about it because it's not in the book, and we didn't want it in the book. HarperCollins just did not want that story.
Did they not want it, or were they afraid of legal action against them, or they were afraid of getting
Bingo.
sued?
I see.
So we should tell the story and get the details out there.
Yeah, we don't
Get
know.
them out
Again, we
because
don't
and
know.
this way you don't know if your if the father of your kid's friend or whomever is listening. Maybe they know where your kids are, and you can.
We don't know the truth about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no knowledge
know,
of it,
yeah.
but I do want to know what your take on it is.
Yeah.
Well, what was the question you asked me? I'm sorry.
What kind of dog would you be if you could be a dog? Oh,
You're ready to tell the real story, like what really is going on here.
It's
The story
too
that
much to tell. It's just too much to tell.
Don't look over there.
No,
Yeah.
Don't look
They're
over
panicking.
there.
His publicist is
It
panicking.
is.
They're
in that room.
panicking. This is
Yeah.
this is your side of it.
No, it's just I can't tell you my story.
You were
because
ready to
it's
tell it, and
Yeah.
then
too
those
long.
those other two in the other room
It's
are
too
shutting you
long.
down.
Well, the reality is, I mean, you lived a very, let's be honest, you lived a very interesting life before that. I mean,
Sure.
did they use your past against you? I mean, you talk in the book about, all right, you got crabs, which I understand. I've
Yeah.
had them 3 times.
yeah.
That's the only thing I ever got.
Is it really?
That's the only
wow, that's good. I had chlamydia once.
thing. I don't know what that
You
is.
probably got it from the
Chlamydia?
same person.
I got
You
it.
can
It
have
was quick
chlamydia
fix.
for a long time
No.
without knowing you have it.
I had it, and then I remember the doctor. I had piss. I said, "Oh, I'm peeing a lot, and sometimes it hurts." He said, "Good, pee in the cup." So I peed in the cup, and then when the doctor grabbed the cup, he was like, "How fucking your piss is scalding?" That's exactly what he said. Your urine is scalding. He was like, "This is."
He
in
said
fact
your
the-
piss is scalding?
Your urine is scalding. Because said my pee was so hot, and then I just took 7. They gave me a shot and a shake. They called it. Give me a shot in the arm, and you took a shake, and my chlamydia was gone in about a week. But your crabs you were talking about.
How did you find out you had crabs? I just itched.
I just itched.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Chlamydia is
You
like
have
a
to
both.
you have to shave everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I did. I got them 3 times.
Really?
3 times.
Wow.
3 times.
Twice from the
Dirty
same girl.
women.
Yeah, you went back knowing the girl had him.
Yeah, I suspected
remember that
she
story.
did. I went back to prove my theory
Yep.
and get laid
Yeah,
one more time.
that's actually smart.
That's true.
He just wanted to make sure.
Love is blind.
Who gave them to you?
Read the book.
D.D. Ramone,
Yeah, you got to say.
right? I'm just showing I read the whole book.
Yeah.
You sure it was him?
Oh yeah.
Did you tell him?
Read the book.
No.
Yes, I did.
He didn't.
Or read Travis's
Jim will.
prep sheet. I want to go back to the kids. That's the
that's the-
fascinating thing here.
It's the meat and potatoes.
Don't listen to those people over there.
We got to find you your kids, and I think people listening to the show.
Something. I mean,
If anybody knows where the kids are,
Where
call
are
in.
Lita Ford's kids?
I've never met Lita Ford before, but something is not right here. Something doesn't make sense. So we're trying to shake it loose a little bit.
It absolutely makes sense. It's alienation. It's parental alienation.
Yeah.
But someone had it out for you. This guy, and it
Yes.
seems like he can't do it alone. So he had some powerful people that were able to help him out too. It seems like.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, his father and it's how he was raised.
Right.
Yeah.
To do this.
Does he have like a new wife now, a new life, and he's taking the kids? It's just him and the kids. Oh man.
And do you have an idea where they might be?
No.
Turks and
Couldn't be that hard to
Caicos?
find. You hire a private investigator.
Yeah.
It makes me sad that
What?
she can't see her kids.
Do you think they're in the U.S.?
I don't know.
You don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like that's horrible.
I know she lived in Turks and Caicos for a while.
Yeah,
So
you
maybe
went
they're
there
still
'cause you
down
You
went
read
there.
the whole book.
I
Yeah.
read the book.
Opie.
I can tell you what page that is on because I folded that one over.
Yeah.
I love Turks and Caicos.
It's beautiful.
Grace Bay Club?
No, that's a different island.
Oh, you were
We were on a deserted island.
you were raising kids on a deserted island for a while?
Why?
Yeah. It was isolated and
Were you with Keith Richards, that island?
right next door.
All right, see, I know the Turks and the Caicos.
Yeah, right next door to Keith Richards, Cindy Crawford. There was a bunch of people. Let me think. You know Parrot Key, where
That's-
Parrot Key
sure.
is? This is an island right next to Parrot Key.
Okay. Not a lot of
Why'd you
people
pick
live over there.
Yeah, isolated's an odd way to.
Very
yeah,
isolated.
why there?
I didn't pick it.
Oh, you didn't.
So this guy has money. That's money. Yeah, she's nodding. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And you were engaged to Tony Iommi.
Yes, I was.
He's one of my favorite people.
I know. I read that story in the book, and I'm like, oh boy, Jimmy's gonna have a problem with this.
No, all
Tony
right.
Iommi's one of his heroes,
But again, it's
and he
never-
didn't treat the Lita Ford that well.
Yeah, there was some bad allegations. I mean, I have to acknowledge
Either
that.
was, but we had good times too.
You did.
Yeah.
Did he really just turn around and punch you one day on a plane for no reason?
Yeah.
Jesus. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Why?
it's crazy. I was flipped out. I was like, "What the?" Because I'd never experienced that before.
What was going on before that? Like, were you arguing, or did you just wake up?
No, there was 3 of us sitting on the plane, me and his keyboard player, and I don't know. I thought maybe he'd taken something for the flight because it was an overseas flight, and I thought maybe he took something that made him angry, and I was thinking maybe the drug wore off after a while. Maybe everything will be okay.
But there was a pattern there because
Yeah.
he choked you out once. I read the book. Why are you giving me that look?
Yeah.
He choked you out and you were unconscious.
Well,
Oh, my God.
At
Oh, my
the very
God.
What the
end-
fuck?
At the very end of our relationship, that's what happened. But in the beginning, it wasn't like that. For the first year, we got along great.
Right.
We got
Was that
along
the same
Always the way it is.
Was that the same
first
story where you
year.
woke up and he had a chair over your head and he was going to like hit you with the chair?
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
And it had studs on the chair.
It was a
Jesus.
big
Oh,
leather chair.
Big leather chair with the studs.
And he
woke
didn't, he
up
didn't
and-
hit you, though?
No, she got out of the way just in time.
Rolled out.
It
That's
was
they
like
teach
a
you.
freaking scene out of a
There's
movie.
a chair
Yeah,
above
the
you.
chair. No, Jesus Christ.
It was a scene out of a movie.
Was that the like?
Makes my stories look like
Yeah.
a child.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Bonnie,
Bonnie-
Bonnie wrote a book too. Which she has a book out as well today, and it's just a little bit different. Her
A
story,
little different, yeah.
What's
It's about
your book
abortions
about?
in North Dakota.
Just her life.
Oh yeah. Well,
memoir.
there was a time where abortions were just being picketed like crazy.
Yeah, they were picketing when
Yeah.
I had to go in.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I went in. I was 16.
Yeah.
Just right before the runaways, I went in and had an abortion by myself. My parents didn't know.
Damn.
You
Oh, my
know,
God.
I was so scared. But I went into a huge medical center. It was a good
Right.
facility. But I didn't
Yeah.
know. I thought, what if I get a quack doctor? You know, you've been
Sure.
watching too
Yeah.
many horror
Yes.
films.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Did you have someone drive you there at least, or did you have to
Yeah.
drive yourself?
Do you have to go on the bus?
Did you have to drive yourself home after the abortion like someone else in this studio?
Well, it really isn't a big deal. I mean,
Having an abortion?
I think it is.
no, if you get it in the beginning,
Right.
it's really for a woman.
birth control?
You just
Right.
They
It's
scrape.
in and out.
Yeah, it's in and out.
Was
thought
it
it
was
was a
it a
pill.
guy you dated?
I didn't know about the pill.
That
yeah.
expulses the. I thought it was a pill you
well,
take.
that's like
and
the
it forces
morning
the
after
period.
pill.
No, this is an abortion. This
An abortion pill?
An
I don't know
abortion
about
pill. Yeah, it's heavy duty. I don't know.
I don't know that they had those back then because
Right.
this was in the 70s.
Sure.
So I don't
Yeah.
think they had the pills back then.
Newer developments.
How was the rest of the flight after the punch?
Yeah. Was
I went into area.
Did you-
Great.
Did you have your seatbelt
After
on?
the punch, it was fine.
How was the
So
turkey?
we drank champagne and
The seat there was
Did
a,
your ears pop?
yeah, they popped.
Yeah, yeah.
No. Of course they popped. It was
I'm a little annoyed
No,
because they
mine-
shut us down talking about the family, right? That's the stuff, though. That's crazy.
but that's a
No, I
long
guess-
There's a lot of-
story,
there's a lot of
and
parents
this show
out
is
there.
not long enough.
Is any
Oh,
of that
well,
in the book about your family?
Yeah,
about
there's
the
family
children?
stuff.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
there is.
All right. We could talk about Joan Jett. You guys,
Oh God, come on.
it's in the book.
Okay, talk about the Runaways.
The Runaways.
That's in
Well,
the
that
book.
was a big band, obviously.
Yeah, the Runaways were in the
And it,
definitely.
it seems like there's
My
some,
first band.
I don't know what it is. Hard
Bad
feelings,
blood with
bad
the management,
blood.
maybe with Jones' management. You kind of indicate that they were not being very kind to you, and they've mentioned a reunion,
Right.
And they're saying that that's just in the other women want that, but Joan doesn't, and they seem like they're not being too nice
Well,
about it.
supposedly Joan's saying they want a reunion so they could pay their bills. That's
Right.
not nice to say, Lita Ford.
What? Who wants a reunion?
That you guys want the reunion more than she. She doesn't really need
So we can
or
pay our
want.
bills?
That's what.
So that's
My
what.
bills are paid.
That's what the management's saying.
Jones management.
Obviously, they're
Yeah.
taking a shot. Like they're saying they want a reunion so they could pay their bills. And Joan Jett, Joan Jett's basically like, I don't need to do that shit.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know.
And that's not. Is that from the book, or is that just?
I don't talk to Joan, so I don't know.
But you guys would
Neither do I.
you would put your differences aside in a second for a runaway
Yeah.
reunion, right?
I think the timing is right now for a reunion.
Sure.
You know, and a couple years ago, it would have been great. You know, I would definitely love it. It would be awesome.
Have you tried to make it happen?
AC/DC, they got back together. All these great bands are getting back together and going out there and just playing to these huge mass people, audiences.
Yeah.
A lot of bands from like the 80s are doing it now. It's like it's retro and it's very, it's huge.
And it's huge. I mean, God, watch some of the AC/DC videos and the audience.
Well, Guns N' Roses is pulling it together. If they can do it,
They're finally doing it.
Anybody can get back together. If Guns N' Roses.
Did AC/DC really ever go away, though? They kind of took some time here and there, but
Yeah, they were gone for a long time.
Were they? I'm trying to remember.
One of the, I think it was the guitar player that has some kind of.
No, his brother is
Is his
well,
brother?
maybe he was one of the, not Angus, but
Malcolm.
Malcolm Young, right? He's
Malcolm
got dementia.
has some problems. He's got dementia. And then you had the other guy that I don't know what the hell was going on with him. The
Phil
drummer.
Rudd, yeah.
Phil Rudd had some issues.
Yeah. No relation to Paul Rudd.
Right.
But they're still
Thank
kicking
you.
ass.
No problem.
They're still kicking ass out there, man. Just tearing it up.
This book has a lot of stories. You had an orgy with John Bon Jovi and what?
Nice.
Oh, please talk about
And
that.
Sambora.
Yeah.
And Richie Sambora.
Yeah, well, we sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Sure.
Did you have sex with both of them together? That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you
Who had
had
a bigger
awesome.
penis?
Yeah, that's going to be my question.
You got to go.
Johnny
Read
B?
the book.
You got to go Sambora on that, right?
I say Bon Jovi.
Read the book.
Sambora's
But you got to tell
a bigger
somebody,
dude.
I want to know who had a bigger penis. I will read the book, but that will get me into the book because I'm dying to know.
I'm starting to learn how to do this from her because I told every single story that I had.
Oh, you
from the
did?
book.
Yeah, people will buy that. That doesn't. I've written books. That doesn't make people not want to buy it.
She would have told the kid's story. I'm telling you right now, Lita
would've
Ford.
talked
She would have had no
about
problem telling that story.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, you're not going to make people not want to buy your book by telling. No one's going to go, we heard it all. It's just, 'cause there's always more details in the book.
Yeah.
It's always better to go and read it, but you have to know a little bit about what you're going
It's
to
like a trailer for a movie. You got to see some of it.
Were you opening up for Bon Jovi when that all went down? The threesome?
No. This was years and years and years ago. This is before
Bon
anybody
Jovi?
was married. No, I think it was during his first or just before his first single came out.
I think John Bon Jovi married his high school sweetheart.
He did, yeah.
Yes,
He did, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. Just asking.
Yeah.
Or putting that on the table.
Yeah, and this was way before that.
Right.
It was a long time ago.
This happens a lot. Like people,
Nobody was married at the time that this happened.
Is it harder for you to talk about this stuff than it was to write it? Like,
well, people take it out of context, like
Well, an orgy's an orgy.
an orgy's an orgy, right?
Well, how many people makes an orgy? Three is
Three
a
or more.
threesome, right?
I guess anything over two.
Is an orgy.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, I guess a threesome.
I always thought three was a threesome.
Look it up
Four
in,
becomes an orgy. 4+.
becomes an orgy.
Yeah. And I've only
Wikipedia.
had like 6 or 7
Yeah.
orgies, so I don't know.
Wikipedia say.
Few orgies.
I'm an
How many
expert.
people make up an orgy?
How many?
Yes. I'd really like to know the answer.
I don't know. But I mean, it wasn't like there was 20 people in the room.
That's what I always
we
think.
were all eating
Yeah.
grapes and stuff like that.
who's this? The
Greek
three of you?
style. Romans.
Yeah.
A Roman orgy. That's
Yeah.
what that's called. The grapes.
Well, the grapes come after, right? Because otherwise, during the orgy, your mouth was full.
Yeah, and you don't want to have fruit. You can shit yourself.
I think you start with the
You don't
grapes.
wanna
I think you start with the grapes. Get everyone
Are they
comfortable.
an aphrodisiac?
Who doesn't like a good
Do
grape?
you use like natural deodorant or something?
Me? Oh, because my armpits sweat?
All the way
yeah.
through a hoodie.
I know, again.
Oh, we discussed that the
every
last couple
time
of weeks.
I come in,
it's
just
really weird.
And
Or
then,
is it just like the mention of an orgy? Just,
just my armpits come.
Well, he's
No,
a big guy.
And people tweet at me. Oh,
You're
I gotta
Saint
use it.
Bernard.
Yeah, I know exactly. I'm a Saint
Right?
Bernard. Yeah. They, I just don't want to use any types of these antiperspirants because they load up the toxins in your body. So I'd rather just sweat it out. It's me. I'm comfortable with me. I'm comfortable with. I have stories about my mom too, but I'm not ready to share yet. But I will.
Well, my stories are all good about my mom.
That's good.
And my dad.
Right.
You also you list Eddie Van Halen, John Entwistle, and Richie Blackmore. Like you hooked up with some really talented people.
Yeah. Richie was amazing. He was just an incredible human being.
Did you date him or just
Yeah.
sleep with him, or did you actually have a relationship?
No, relationship. I mean, as a friend, we knew each other. We toured together. We played together. We jammed together. He plays cello. He's really into like white magic kind of stuff that is just amazing, the stuff that he does.
Did he have a big penis?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I was going to ask a follow up on the white magic, but
Well, if he did, it would be.
There would be, yeah, the White Magic. That's his nickname.
I just wanted to know between Bon Jovi and Sambora.
Yes.
Because for some reason, I would guess Sambora is packing more than
I think
Bon
He's got the swagger.
Yeah.
He's got the swagger.
I would guess Bon Jovi.
It's probably Bon Jovi. Though.
I think it's
Even
Bon
though he's a
Jovi.
shorter guy.
If you have a huge dick, you don't
probably had
marry
a
your
huge-
high school sweetheart.
huge dick.
That's a great book.
Oh no, he's got a
Just
Hitler
say it.
penis.
Yes,
Oh no.
you hide that shit.
Oh, Bonnie, you're right.
Oh,
Nobody
that's
with a
very
huge dick
good.
marries their high school sweetheart.
You were married to that dude for a while before the whole thing went bad with the kids and stuff, huh?
Yeah. We were married 16 years.
16 years.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Tina Turner, Ike and Tina Turner.
Physical abuse, you mean?
A lot of turmoil.
No. Food. Yes. Yay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wait, so there was physical abuse? Because that was what Ike and Tina's story was. It was
Oh,
like
was
physical.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, you might not want to say that if there was no physical abuse.
Yeah.
If it was more mental.
Wait
yelling and
till the
screaming.
other book comes out or the movie comes out. There's going to be a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one guy I talked to yesterday on the phone, he was like, man, this was like Silence of the Lambs. You were like Jodie Foster, and they sent you in there because you were the chick, and she got brainwashed by Hannibal Lecter, and in the end, turned out to be his friend.
Right.
And she was the only one that knew where Hannibal Lecter went.
Right. But nobody was eating people on your
Oh, what
side.
does that mean?
No.
Okay. No, because again, not a good comparison. Much like the Ike and Tina.
Yeah.
I know.
It's just that then we're going
Hannibal
Hannibal Lecter,
Lecter.
so we gotta just.
No,
Now
but
you're
He
implying
did get crabs from Buffalo Bill.
he was a good
Where did that come from?
that's why you had the lotion. You needed the
Buffalo
lotion.
Bill. Oh, my God.
So you had a crazy marriage, is I guess what you were trying to say there.
I think I'm supposed to go to another.
Bonnie's
No.
got to go. Lita
Please
Ford's
don't
got to go.
But can I just plug something
I was
really
tempted
quick?
before.
I'm
Yes,
sorry because Vinny Brand is texting me. Please plug your dates.
Oh, shut up, Vinny.
At the Stress Factory.
That's still 2 weeks
First
away.
week in March. I know. So
right.
I'm going to LA next at the end of the week, and then when I come back, I'm at the Stress Factory. But you can also buy my book. You're better than me.
Yes, Bonnie McFarlane
Can't wait.
was very
So
open
nice
with
to
her
meet
interview
you.
and
You're
told a lot of
leaving
stories in the
already? Don't
book.
leave.
Loved it.
Yeah,
Even
I've
stories
got-
that she
I-
didn't
I
even
have
put in
another
the
thing.
book.
I
Our
love
show,
it.
Bonnie
our
told
show
us.
is ending. We end at 10:30.
I'll be the only girl in here now.
Now you're on
no,
these
you're out too.
You
You
can
haven't
handle
seen
these
Jimmy.
guys. They're pussies.
Bonnie McFarlane's book, You're Better Than Me, and you got those signings. And
Thank you guys so much. I really
Oh,
appreciate
God.
it.
Good
Nice to
luck,
see you, Bonnie.
Bonnie.
Good luck with the book.
Good
man.
luck.
And
To meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Lita Ford is.
Bye bye.
Lita's book is called Living Like a Runaway, and she's doing signings if you want to meet Lita. Bonnie has one tonight at 7 p.m.
Right.
at the Strand on Broadway with Jim Gaffigan. It's like a discussion or a reading. And Lita's doing one tonight, Barnes & Noble in Tribeca, which is 97 Warren Street, 7 o'clock. And then tomorrow, Bookends, which I've been to in New Jersey, Ridgewood, which is a great bookstore, great independent bookstore. So if you want to go and meet Lita and get your book signed, feel free to do that.
And she's looking for her kids.
Yes,
Yep.
if you know anything about
If you know that,
children.
get that.
A lot of great pictures in this book, Lita Ford.
Yeah, thank you.
Very, very good.
And you know where I'm going to be. Go to jimnorton.com for my dates.
Yes.
New Jersey twice in 2 weeks, and then Indianapolis, Cleveland, and Grand Rapids.
And Krista Stefano.
Yep, I'll be at the Mohegan Sun in Connecticut this Thursday to Saturday, and then next weekend at Bananas Comedy Club in New Jersey. I'll be selling T-shirts.
Very cool.
Mohegan Sun's awesome.
Yeah,
I love
love it there.
It's such a
You
beautiful
like that place, right?
Yeah, really
Love,
nice.
good spot.
All right, I don't know what really happened here, but this looks like it's going to be a good read, Lita Ford.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is.
Living Like
Find
a
out.
Runaway, a memoir.
Yeah.
Bon Jovi Dick.
Bon Jovi.
It doesn't talk about Bon Jovi.
You hook up with Rick Astley ever?
I'm sorry?
Rick Astley?
I don't know who that is.
What's his name?
Rick Astley.
Ashley.
Ashley? Rick
I
Astley?
think,
I thought it was
right?
Astley.
Rick Roll.
I don't know who that is.
The Rick
Never
Roll
gonna
guy.
Rick Roll. Never gonna let you down.
Come on, you
I
know
don't
it.
know him.
Rick, you never hooked up with
Wait.
Rick Roll?
I know the song.
All right.
Oh, you do. Okay, that's it.
Who else that I know?
All right.
I mean,
You
there's
ever hook
a
up
lot of
with-
good stuff in there, just not all
Yeah.
sex.
No,
Right.
but that's.
We didn't ask a lot of sex questions.
It is interesting.
Did you ever pull Ozzy's pod?
Yeah.
I see a
No.
nice picture of you and Ozzy.
no,
You
I
guys
did
had
not.
you guys had a hit.
We had a
With
top
that
10 hit.
With that Close Your Eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
But I was more, Sharon was my manager, so I was
Oh, yeah. So you're
hanging out with Sharon
Yeah, you're
more
not going
than
to mess with
Ozzy.
that. You're not going to mess with that.
No, of course not.
Alice Cooper? You ever hook
Wouldn't
up with Alice
disrespect
Cooper?
Sharon,
Sure.
never did.
We love Sharon. Alice Cooper.
I know him from Wayne's World.
Alice Cooper's a good friend.
Right. I see
Yeah.
the picture with your boys in there.
Yeah. I met Alice when I was a kid. I was like 16 when I first met Alice. My mother knew Alice. My father.
Wow. Really?
Jeez.
Yeah, but he would come to all the shows. My dad would go to all the rock shows, all the local ones. And then my mom started flying out after my father passed away. My mother would fly out to all the shows. That's where she met David Bowie,
Oh, wow.
which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Was she like a groupie type, or she just liked rock, or?
No, she didn't want to be alone because my dad passed away with brain cancer.
Oh, sorry to hear.
Oh, sorry.
So it's all in the book, but I took her to New York Awards show, and she hooked up with David Bowie for just about 30 minutes. They were talking, and I found her sitting on a sofa next to David Bowie. And she has good taste.
Right.
Did
She
she
didn't
hook
know
up
who
with
he
him?
was.
Hook
She-
up with him or just chat?
Oh, no.
You might
Oh,
want
they meant
no.
hooking up.
Yeah, you
yeah.
might not want to say hooked up.
Yeah.
No, they were just talking.
Right,
That's
right.
all. It was
Okay.
at the
Yeah.
award show, and she said he wanted an orange juice. So she went to get him an orange juice, and David Bowie reminded her of my father because my father was this rather small British man with slicked back hair and
Right.
nicely dressed, and my dad was like that. And he had just passed, so I think she saw my father in David Bowie.
So she probably talked to Bowie. She probably bummed Bowie out. She's probably like, yeah, my husband just passed away, and David's like, oh no.
My
Let
mother
me get
wasn't
an
like
orange juice.
that.
So these drugs kick in quicker. Yeah.
No, she wasn't like that at all.
Right.
She was 100% a lady.
Very good.
Okay.
All right, we should go.
Yes, our show has ended.
Yes, it has.
Living Like a Runaway, and Bonnie's book is out as well today. You're Better Than Me.
Right.
So, and we've plugged the signings, and
So let's get
both
the
are
hell out of
available.
here.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Lita Ford.
Thank
Nice to
you.
meet you, Lita.
And
Thank you.
thank you to Bonnie as well.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys tomorrow.